So welcome to the Greener Miles Running Stanhope 10K-ish. I say ish, this was billed as a 10K. It's a little over 11, so 7 and a bit miles altogether. But this is easily, hands down, one of the best things I've ever ran, one of the best events I've ever taken part in. But I actually parked in the village, in the Stanhope town centre, but there was actually tons of available parking on the show fields at the actual event venue. So if you're doing this next year, there's loads of space if you want to park actually on site. So in a first for me at an event, there was actually a 5-minute walk from the registration, kind of through the town and up a hill to the start line here. It was like being on a school trip, just everyone being kind of escorted along, following the leader up until the start line. Naivety, I was running this bit going, oh, this is nice, this is lovely, nice views, nice green fields, soft underfoot, not too hilly, steady away, this is going to be easy. And then the field ended, and that was the start of the real fun. Two bits on road, short stretch up a hill. But yeah, so this was when you realise, oh, hold on, we're going uphill. And that little moment there where I stopped to turn around, thinking, oh, this is the top, this is where the level's off. No, we hadn't even started at this point. I was still running up hills at this bit. That did not last very long at all. For this event I was a bit nervous about doing it, and I think it was the notion, the idea that you have to run the hills, and as soon as I realised that people do walk the hills, people do save their efforts for the downhills, for the flats, for the softer grounds, I was instantly relaxed and started to enjoy the run. So it was just after you've done some climbing, you've gone uphill, and you kind of notice the people in front of you have dipped. Like you get this little feeling where you just think, I've ran all the way up and now I've got to go down to do that elevation gain again. But this was the point where this really started to feel like something more than just a run for me. This was like, I was just loving it at this point. This seemed like a good place to stop. Quick turnaround just to see how far we'd come, and you can see people still coming up the hill in the distance. You can see those sheds we ran past. And kind of, as much as looking ahead can sometimes be daunting, that looking back and seeing what you've already done, that was a real kicker for a few of us on that route on that day. Finally getting most of the climb out the way at this point, we get to have some semblance of speed, some semblance of being able to put some effort in and hammer the flats again. Until this point, and you realise, oh, we're not finished, it's another uphill. So that was the hard work done. We've done about 3 miles, just over 3 miles of almost solid climb. climbing by this point, so now there was a chance for some flats and some downhills, which was going to take us to the 4 mile mark and the water station at the 4 mile mark. With the weather, with the different terrains, with the uphills, the downhills, the climbs, the wooded area which you'll see shortly, the rivers, the people, it was just all coming together. Like honestly, hands down, this could be my favourite run ever. Certainly not my fastest, certainly it's my most challenging. It made Gibbside 10K, Richmond Castle 10K, it made those look like a piece of cake. Split, so there was a half marathon option. So everyone shared the same route up until this point, and then the 10K and the half marathon would take different routes. So this was both the beginning of the end, we're coming up to the final mile or so of the run, but also the start of my favourite bit from this run, and there were so many of them. But this part of the route, I think it was Stanhope 10, you cross over that stile and you run down this route, and you came out of the trees and all of a sudden there's this drop into a gorge or a valley or whatever below. And that was brilliant. But then running through these kind of overgrown grasses and ferns, running over the tree roots, under the trees, along the riverside, there was just so much on this part of the run. Just another example of just an awesome route that just encompassed everything from running through the town and along the road, and then across the moors and uphill and downhill and trails and mud and gravel, and there was just always something new to see every half mile or so. It felt like you were running somewhere slightly different. But this bit through the woodland, through the trees, I just absolutely loved it. It was just the highlight of the run for me, this last mile or so. Then you would come out of the woods, out of the Dean, a little short bit along tarmac and paths, back into the town, back along the play park by the river, and along to the finish line. So this is the final, I don't know, less than half a K I suppose of the run. But again, something different. You're out along the river, you're over this nice little bridge. So again, it's just something different to see all the way along this run. It was never monotonous, it was never too samey. I can't say enough how much I love this run. I'll be booking on next year, and I can only recommend that everybody who wants to challenge themselves take a look at this next year and get booked on.